Take a moment, find your center. Again and again, come back to center in your spine, in your hips, in your shoulders, in your cells. Find the center. Align yourself with the center. Tune yourself with the center of your breath, the center of your brain. We chant Om together one time. Inhale deeply. Om. Make your breath very fine, very pure, very smooth. Like your hair, you have very nice hair. Make your breath, comb your breath, brush through your breath, wash out your breath, your breathing channel. Check in on your breathing habits. You play a game, you have to do properly. So there's a proper way to hold a hammer, a proper way to swing a racket, a proper way to use a knife to chop vegetables. So there's a proper way to breathe. Make sure you're not breathing improperly. That would be tragic. Right? It's like dangerous, right? You have a knife, if you don't use correctly, it becomes a threat to yourself and others. So make sure your breath is exquisite. Make sure your breath is pristine. Invest in your breath. Spend time with your breath. Make your breath beautiful. You paint your face, you clean your hair, your nails, everything. This is the surface. The breath, you make your breath beautiful, your cells will be beautiful, your digestion will be wonderful. No, the life itself, this is life, the breath is life. We're on the surface, we're on the very surface. We're stuck on the surface. The mind, all the thoughts are on the surface. There's no thoughts at the deep level. All of our personal thoughts are only on the surface of your own personal mind. No one else can see your thoughts. No one else can share the weight or the burden. Even people experiencing the same situation don't have the same thoughts. Even if you were to try to speak out your thoughts, they wouldn't be understood. So these thoughts, all these thoughts, like dust on the surface. So be at the deep level. Be at home at the deep level. Not in the story. Who can be at home in the story? The stories are crazy. Every story is crazy. Every cell, every molecule, the story, unbelievable stories. What to do? You can't be at home in the story. Be at home at the deep level. In your breath. But in your breath means in the space beneath the breath. There's a silent space within which the breath is moving. First you have to calm your breath. Calm your breath. In this way you're filtering through your emotions also. Instead of all this excessive, heavy, aggressive emotion, aggressive sadness, aggressive anger. Sadness comes, the rain goes. But it becomes aggressive, it becomes the ego, it becomes attachment, addiction. So clean your breath, clean your heart, clean your mind, clean your cells. This is yoga, an inner process. It's not a parade, it's not a show, it's not a performance, not a competition. It's not a competition with yourself to prove something. This is the opposite. The opposite of proving yourself, to be yourself. Simply to be at home in yourself. Right now. It's not, this is all crazy. This circus, yoga circus, acrobatics tricks. Prove that we can do something. So immediately Only you can be yourself immediately. Only immediately you can be yourself. Never through effort. How could it require effort? That's what requires effort, is to be something else. So, if you were to go bird hunting, right, you want to know certain things about the birds. Have an idea like with their habitat and what kind of food they eat, what time of year they're in, where the place, things you want to know about the birds, what they look like, if you can, the colors, everything. Some behavior things about the birds. If you go collecting plants, then certain characteristics that you want to understand about the habitat of the plants, the ecosystem, the leaf shape and the leaf structure, basic things, simple things. Right? So, in the same way, we're looking for happiness. We're looking for peace, looking for love. But what do we know? What are the characteristics? What is the appropriate environment? Where is that? Where is that place? We think happiness means when I get what I want, I'm happy. I'm going to be happy. Or when I'm successful, I'll be happy when I'm successful. So we have to see then, is getting what we want, is this happiness? And what is this successful? Is successful happiness? So if I get what I want, like a car or a watch or some praise or something, then for a moment I feel excited, like a high, a kind of intoxication, like if you eat sugar. When you eat sugar, you feel excited. Is that excitement happiness? Because if we're looking the wrong direction, then we're not going to find the bird. And if the bird is not outside but inside, then it's a whole other story. So first, this excitement of getting something, whatever that may be. I want something and I get it. Then for a moment I'm excited, but then very quickly, it's not enough. One, it's not enough. I need something more. The sugar is never enough. Never enough sugar. And number two, then I fear losing it. I can fear losing that thing. If I get it, then it comes the fear immediately. That fear can't be attached with happiness. Not impossible. Impossible. Because then I'm just, deep down I'm living in fear, but I'm trying to distract myself. So, getting what I want is not, and if it were the case that getting what you want brought happiness, then someone would be happy, but no one's happy. Especially the people that have everything unhappy. So, that can't be the case. Then, what about successful? I say, okay, then when I'm successful. So what does it mean to be successful? Right? Generally, we're interpreting this as some kind of achievement in some kind of social, economic, or some purpose. To be successful means to achieve something. But in general, somehow achieving something means that we are sacrificing ourselves or neglecting ourselves for that thing. And so when you sacrifice yourself, then there's no possibility to be in happiness on it. And so if we can interpret to be successful means to be yourself, moment to moment. This is the true success, means to be yourself, moment to moment. Then this is the proper context for which happiness can arise, because happiness is the state of enoughness, the state of completeness, fullness, the state of not something is missing, I'm not good enough, but this state of celebration of that which is. The focus is not on that which is not. Our whole life we've been taught to identify what's wrong. We can, in a blink of an eye, may identify thousands of problems with everything, with ourselves, with everyone. But we haven't trained ourselves to be in that state of wholeness, as it is. It's a control state. We're in a control state instead of state of surrender. And so happiness can arise from control. Happiness can arise from this surrender. Because happiness is not an excitement, an intoxication, a temporary intoxication. Happiness is like a peace, contentment, a fullness. And that's unshakable. Even if some whatever tragedy, and life is a tragedy. Whatever tragedy comes, the foundation, this is at the deep level, foundation of presence. Then this is where we have to look for happiness, is in that depth of presence, not in the external objects of the world or the people. This is where we find peace also. Happiness and peace are the same, qualities of that same depth, deep roots. Love is an expression of that. Love is where the happiness, peace expresses itself. Like the plant blossoming, the flowers, the fruits, the sun shining, the river flowing is love. It's not like a Valentine's poem. It's life being itself. Life expressing itself naturally, organically, is love. Happiness is to be life, which we are. It's not an extra, it's not something extra on top. But it's the very essence of life. To be connected with that, to recognize that, to taste that, to live that, is happiness. It's not something you schedule for weekends in between. This is distraction from the fear and underlying tension of a disconnect. And that's why we insist, take 30 minutes a day, 2%. There's 100% every day is 100%. Every single day there is 100%. So 2%. To organize, to clean your house, to make your bed, to clean your body, heart, and mind, to comb through your nervous system, to water your garden. We call water the garden. It's what we call tuning practice. It's not a yoga practice. It's become so ugly. Everything is so, what do we call this? Transactional. Our whole life has become transactional. And so you tune your body, heart, and mind. Like a musician. Any reasonable musician is going to tune their instrument every time before they play. Even at the highest level, the Philharmonic. I trained with Philadelphia Orchestra. They were incredible. I mean, some of the best musicians, conductors in the world. And they're practicing, 5-6 hours a day. And then they would play with the orchestra. And so it would warm up. And so if you do that, if you put in the hours for basic training, which we didn't get that in elementary school or middle school or high school or university. We didn't get it how to breathe, how to use your organs and spine, how to heal your body, how to heal your mind, how to not think, how to rest in awareness, how to tap into creativity, how to be playful, how to listen, how to feel. These things we didn't learn. But we can learn it. Like the same, you can learn how to play the cross. You can learn how to speak another language. You can learn how to and so everybody was doing everything to prove something. Running marathons and doing all kinds of extreme things to prove it. Look, I can do it. But what we really need is to learn to be yourself. Where it becomes so much that you could not be yourself. You're so deeply connected. And for that you have to spend time with yourself every day. We never spend time. We distract from ourselves. So this 2% is really a love affair with yourself. 30 minutes, and in 30 minutes it's plenty. You don't need to figure it out. If you have to figure it out, it'll never happen. So you have a fixed recipe, you do it again and again, 100 days. This is a 100-day challenge with you. 100 days. So okay, so I have 30 minutes. Maybe I have 30 minutes. So 12 minutes of postures. You can do 5 postures. You do sun salutation, tree pose, forward bend, back bend, inversion twist. If you have extra time some days, you can always add more, but you never do less. You do it in the same order, the same thing. Because you're not doing the posture. Through the posture, you're unlocking the life force that's flowing in you. You're allowing for that to act. It's not you doing something. You're not doing something. Life is doing. We're just creating favorable conditions instead of creating unfavorable conditions, which we're doing all day, every day. So these 5. Use a timer. Each posture 1 minute. Put the timer 1 minute. Then you don't have to think. Otherwise, like, oh, how long, this, that. It's all kinds of nonsense. We have to have the accountability. We can't take accountability for ourselves. So use a timer. Put the timer for each one. And gradually build 60 seconds, 75, 90 seconds. You're holding the forward bend for 2 minutes. You're going to blast off. On the level of cleansing in the subconscious, unconscious, all these layers. This is deep level of working with the nervous system and the cells and the memory of the ancestors and our joints and the karma, all these things, everything. There's infinite layers, dimensions that are going on in the practice that we don't know and understand anyway. Even the surface we don't know. Even when you're working out, exercising the muscles, we don't know what's going on anyway. So, but I'm telling you that there's if you do this 100 days, then you'll know for sure if it works or not. The 5 postures, and then breathing. Okay, again, use the timer. Breath of fire, use the timer. Alternate nostril breathing, and then spinal breathing. It's take another, 6 minutes, 18 minutes. Then 12 minutes meditation. You put 12, and you sit, and wait until it beeps. And then take some notes if you want, and then you can forget about it until the next day, and then do it again and again, just like that. Ideally, at the same time, it becomes like a fix, it becomes like a rhythm. Life is a rhythm. The seasons, the planets, the cells, everything is rhythm. We're living in a false time. Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, weekends, weekdays, holidays is false time. This is commercial time. So all of life is in the lunar cycle of time. All the dimensions of planets and galaxies and all the rest of the cosmos. So only us are living in this false sense of time. So we can never feel in rhythm with life. And we think we're better than life too. It's a terrible mistake. That life is stupid and dirty, everything. It's only become clear recently, but the same intelligence and power that's in the seed that gives birth to the plant is that which is giving birth to this in every second moment at every level. And so this is an expression of that same life intelligence. And so everything is in its place, but we have to experience that. We have to have that experience at a deep level. So happiness. Happiness is being yourself. What it is to be yourself, there's no definition to that. It's not like, oh, myself is this. No, each moment, you're like the river flowing. Yourself is fresh each moment. There's no answer. You're living the answer. You live the answer, and then each moment is the purpose of your life. You're living that purpose. Each interaction is the purpose. Each lesson is the purpose. Every day there's infinite lessons, infinite interactions, infinite realizations. So it's an embodiment. You embody you are yourself. There's no definition. There's no separate story. This is the key. Question. Letting go is today's theme. How does it relate to forgiving? Can you do one without the other? Do we have to forgive? Every day you eat food. You eat food 3 times, sometimes more. Nowadays we just eat, actually, we're just like shoving things into our mouths all day. And that most of what you eat is waste. Most of it is indigestible. You have to get rid of it. Only very, very little of what you eat is useful, actually. And even then, if you can properly absorb it and assimilate it, and then it also becomes waste. And so it's important, sometimes you have good food. Really, really yummy. Like, do you remember what you ate 3 months ago? Or 2 years, 2 weeks, and 2 days ago? Do you remember what you ate for breakfast? Or what you ate even 5 weeks ago for dinner? On Tuesday, can you remember, right? No. So we eat every day, and whether it was the best meal, imagine that you couldn't forget. You had some meal, and it was amazing. And every time you eat, all you think about is that amazing meal, and it's never as good. Or sometimes you have a terrible meal, disgusting, and you throw up, it makes you sick. And then you always think about that every time you go to eat. You feel good eating, and then also you think, oh, that was terrible. I wonder if this is going to be terrible. And so you eat and then you forget it. You have to forget it because you're going to have to eat another meal. So in the same way, in life we have different experiences. Most of the experience is waste. Most of it is just the fodder, the fiber, you have to get rid of it. You have to die. Very little, the little essence, you can keep that with you, but you only want to keep the essence. You don't want to keep the poison. You don't want to keep the waste. And what good is holding on to it? Who is it affecting? Whatever is affecting you only. So forgiveness isn't about the other person. Forgiveness is not the judge saying it's okay. Anything. Forgiveness is you saying, I don't need this shit in me anymore. It's already gone. I've digested it, it's gone, taken it, the essence, but it's done. Why would you want to, what good is carrying anything around that's not useful? Why would we want to carry, I mean, we have the potential to carry anything. You can put anything in your pocket. If you want, there's plenty of tragedies. There's infinite everywhere, all the time, continuously, right now. Genocide's going on. Babies being, everything. Everything's every moment. We have a choice. We have to choose. What do you want to take with you? At a personal, everything. Everything is everywhere, every moment. And so the life presents us with the food feels like a choice, like I'm choosing. But life is just like we get put in these situations. It feels less of a choice. But everything needs to be digested. If you can digest it immediately, you digest it and you flush the toilet. You don't need to pick through the trash. What's the good? There's more. The next meal is on its way. Life just continue happening. If we get too caught up in the past, we'll never be able to dance this present moment. We'll never be able to always be treading water to keep up. So we have to make a strong digestion. This is why also the yoga meditation is to strengthen the inner fire, to be able to digest. But digest doesn't mean understand. That's the problem. Everyone wants to understand. There's no understanding. There's no understanding. What do we understand about life anyway? Water. What do we understand about water? Do I understand water? Drink it all the time. This is all water. All of this is water. Do I understand it? No. What do I understand? It's water, the ocean? No, I don't understand it, but I use it. It's how we have to be more pragmatic, more functional, more practical. We get caught in the idea of want to understand love, understand peace. There's no understanding possible. You have to live it, to express it, to be it. So So no, can you have one without the other? Letting go. Letting go is control, is the ego, is mind. We're always holding on to the past. But we need to digest it and hold on to the present moment. Actually, when you hold on to the present moment, then you find automatically you've let go of the past. So actually what we need is not to let go of the past, because you're going to be holding on to something anyway. I have to hold on to something. So instead, just hold on to the present moment. Period. The past will go by itself. Actually, where is that? Where is it? Where are those things? We're the only one. It's nowhere. Right? It will die along with us. When we go to sleep, it goes to sleep. So it only exists in our minds. So there's nothing to let go of. It's like letting go of the shadow. It's like what to do about my shadow. What should I do about it? What can you do about it? Go out in the sun. Go play in the sun. One without the other. But I mean, if there's something to forgive, forgive. The main thing to forgive is like ourself, or God, or life, or whatever. I mean, it's just this whole idea of fair. Is something fair, something justice, everything. We're going to be caught up in that. Then we're going to be in a state of tension and judging. This should be like this, should that. This one should be like that. The forgiveness is. It's a kind of meditation, like they do loving kindness meditation as well. We used to have incredible practice. In some traditions, they do bowing practice. In certain forms of Korean Zen Buddhism, they'll do bowing. We'll bow for like hours. And they have different ones. And we were doing this to like Ho'onopono, like I'm sorry, please forgive me. I'm sorry, please forgive me. And like I love you, I love you. All these different, and to do that and doing like full prostrations too, not all just like this, like up on knees or on the knees and down. It's tiring. Tire yourself out, and you can generate a lot of energy. We just sit around generating negativity. It's not a good use of time. How can you be sure the source exists? Couldn't it just be a load of chemical, biological reactions? Chemical, biological reactions. I mean, within the matter, everything's reaction, but the seed itself, this inside the seed, the seed is empty. The seed is empty and it's full. It contains the whole everything, the chromosome, everything like this. So as deep as we've looked to this most minute microcosm, then that contains the whole macrocosm. And the macrocosm contains the microcosm. We don't need to, you can posit a source or not in terms of the geometry and in terms of mathematics and in terms of all the fundamental principles of engineering and sciences, which were developed by the yogis thousands of years ago. But the yogis have been investigating in a very very concrete scientific methodology. These were very high levels, and continue to be. So the source, whatever works, whatever framework works for you, this is what, they're very discrete systems of metaphysics describing the universes and the process of creation. There are multiple schools, and this has been discussed for thousands of years, right? The West is an infant stage of philosophy and these kinds of things now. So it's, I think, but again, focus is not on dialectics, it's on practical, come back to your center, whatever it is. Right, there must be something in the center of your spine. For sure, there's different energies flowing and moving. Like here, we have this here. Everyone knows Alex Gray. He used to dissect cadavers, and then he became an incredible visionary artist. I met him a few times. He was still very friendly. In his studio in Soho, he would host full moon and new moon jams where everyone come together, make art together, dance together with him and his wife Allison. And so there's an incredible, I don't know, we can call engineering or something going on in these are levels of the light body. This is at a different, like a magnetic and light and stuff, but then we have all these things which we don't even know about. We're so smart, but we don't even know our own what's going on inside of us. We're so smart, but we have no idea what's in the lymphatic system or what the organs are doing right now or something. So this one is the cardiovascular. Who would have thought all that's in there, right? Like, so what possibility do we have of knowing anything if our own very own self is really a complete mystery? But for sure, it starts with an egg and a sperm, and then it divides, and there's cell, that original part, those original parts are here. Within the structure, there are different glands and a chemistry, and we can consciously, intentionally, activate the good chemistry, what they call biohacking in modern terms, and we can see that our modern way of life is bringing about the bad chemistry, right? It's very toxic lifestyle. The food is toxic, the water is poison, our air is poison, our relationships, what we're seeing online, the advertising, it's poisoning our own minds, our families. Now everything's very toxic. And so it's worth studying the body, the subtle bodies, the mind, different layers of mind and heart. And the same like a garden, because this is like a garden. This is a garden, right? In the way that it's functioning as a natural part of nature, right? And that we have nothing. Do you have anything to do with these? Any of this? No. Okay, you came in somehow. So we come in somewhere into this, like the car. You didn't make the car. You get in the car, you drive it. You didn't make it, and you are not the car, right? We can say. So if I don't know anything about this, what's going on right now, and I didn't make it, then it can't be me, right? And so I have to study and understand, and then if in any way it's possible, like if this were a musical instrument, that I could play it in a more harmonious way. And how do we go about that? Through some kind of repetitive training, the same like we do in music and sports and language. Then it's a worthwhile endeavor. No, it makes sense. We want to work from this kind of practical framework. What's the problem? Problem is not, is there a source or isn't there a source? Problem is, no, how can I be more grounded, rooted in myself? And so the symmetry of this duality and the oneness of the nervous system, the spine, the breath, the brain, this is the alchemy of yoga. And when we're in tune, then the chemistry will be in tune. The biology will be in tune. Then your emotions will be in tune. Your mood will be in tune. Your words will be in tune, right? But if at the core we have all this, then all of our words are born from that place, are tinged with that heaviness, that sadness, that anger, everything. Our thoughts are tinged with that. Whatever is at the deep level, then that's influencing everything that we're doing and saying and experiencing. So that's what we're saying. We're working to tune the subtle rhythm and vibration at the deep level beneath your breath, in your spine and nervous system. That's what's controlling you. It's not the past. How do I stop worrying about the future? When I'm meditating, all I can think about is what's next. Well, first of all, keep meditating. That's what the meditation is for. You got to burn it out, right? Burn it out. Write it down. Write it down. You got to see it. You have to put a magnifying glass on it. We're always just skirting around the edge of things. We don't want to look deeply. We don't want to know. No? So see what's going on. What's the fear? Where is the fear stemming from? What is it exactly? You have to pop the pimple. No? And then keep meditating to make your roots stronger. Again, it's not that you let go of the past. Don't let go of the future. You grab onto the present moment. Grab onto the dragon. It's wild. To be present is wild. it's not like a real curated, like clean lawn where everything is mowed, and it's like you have to be ready or willing to be a little bit wild. This means to be alive. Right? We don't want to be like the animal in the pet shop. We don't want to look like that. We want to be like the wild animal in nature. Sometimes totally chilling, vibing, and then other times in action. Right? For sure, if we were to compare ourselves to anything out there in the real world, it would be the animals in the zoo. We exhibit behaviors very similar to the animals in captivity. And I learned from the very beautiful man, Cesar, the dog whisperer. I'm sure everybody's seen that. I don't think there was any ever scandals with Cesar, no? Did he ever have any scandals? I don't know. Anyway, he would work with dogs, and before he would work with them, he would put them on a treadmill and make them run. And he said that they have so much pent-up energy. The dogs aren't meant to live in that way. Even when they have a place to go, we're living a rather stagnant lifestyle. So he says you can't even work with them psychologically until they let out some of that energy. It's too much energy inside. So imagine the dogs are like that. Imagine us, how since we're young, sit at the desk, sit down, and just sit down and take it, So we have so much energy inside, we have to release that first. Otherwise, we can't even work with it. We can't work with it because of the chemistry. Why? It's because of the chemistry. How do you quiet the mind when it is having obsessive thoughts and anxiety arises? Well, that's like, how do you steer the ship in a storm, right? First, you have to cultivate that deep roots in your daily life. Every day, training, you have to train when you're not in an obsessive thought and anxiety, but just and make it a rhythm and habit to be deeply grounded in your breath, in your center, in that one-pointed focus, in a state of ease, in a state of roots, grounding, sthira. You have to train until it becomes second nature to access that. And then when the storm comes, which it will, right, or it'll come less frequently, because not only are you training these things, you're retraining your nervous system. By patterning your by cleaning your nervous system every day. Like you comb your hair, it's like, oh, I got all these knots in my hair, how can I not get dreadlocks? Wash your hair every day, comb your hair every day. So if you do yoga nidra practice every day, you do the asana pranayama meditation every day, you dance every day, you take walks in nature barefoot, you do these things, then your nervous system, you eat a healthy diet, you fast every now and then, you get massage, you go for steam and cold plunge regularly. Then your nervous system becomes very beautiful. When your nervous system becomes beautiful, then you have the inner beauty. Otherwise, it's just the outside. We're only focused on the outside, but you can do both. The good news is you can do both. You can have both. Why not? Sure. But for sure, to neglect the inner level would be a big mistake. And so you just have to make it a habit. We make it a habit every day. Fresh clothes, freshen up, take a shower, put on a face, brush your teeth. You do it anyway. So you add to that, not as a luxury, but as part and understanding that this is part of the basic hygiene, and that I wouldn't walk around with dirty, smelly teeth or rotting clothes, and so I shouldn't walk around with a dirty, smelly heart. When I go to the bathroom, I wipe myself. It's part of the hygiene. We have to clean. We have, in life, we have to clean. You clean your sheets, you clean your dishes, you clean your clothes, and it feels good to get a clean dish. It feels good to get in a clean bed. It feels good to put on clean clothes. So how could it feel good to be in dirty, dusty, dingy, yucky heart and mind? Can't feel good. Won't feel good. It will never feel good. No matter how much you paint on the surface, you put that dirty mind in a beautiful house with a beautiful family. Is that dirty mind happy? Can't be. How is it possible? So why would we not? So either it's impossible to clean your mind, it's impossible to clean your heart, it's impossible to clean your cells and organs, or what's the excuse? There's no reasonable excuse. No reasonable excuse. Because for sure, this is what determines the quality of our life and our health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, relationship with our family, everything, our work, our capacity to work has to do with it. Everything stems from that. So it must just be misunderstanding. And so that's why we're saying, if you were to train 100 days at pickleball, then you'd be pretty freaking good in 100 days. So imagine 100 days of training to be yourself. Right? It might work, it might not. But if it does, that's a fucking miracle. That's miracle status. And the radical part is totally, besides what you spent to come here, it's free. It's just a part of life. But they'll never tell you this in a yoga studio because they need to sell the classes. They need you to come back. Yoga studios for entertainment. And it's good. It's a challenge, but they're not teaching to fish. They're selling fish. But the real yoga you can never do in a room filled with other people where you're comparing yourself. Oh, am I good enough? Trying to keep up. What's next? Oh my God. How can you marinate in the essence of yourself, which is love and peace and presence, when you're trying to keep up and prove yourself and do it right and checking them out? And how can you be present when you don't know what's coming next and this and that? No, you have to do the same thing every day in your home. Make a sacred space in your home. You're creating the sacred energy within you, within the space. You're cleaning your body, heart, and mind, which is a reasonable thing to do. Who would want to show up? You show up for a date with dirty clothes? No. So why show up with a dirty mind? Why show up with a dirty heart? We don't want to put that in our family. We don't want that in our home. We don't want that in anywhere. Right? Nowadays, we're very civilized and sophisticated, and on the superficial level, everything is very beautiful. But inside, it's like a leprosy. And so we have to clean, to nourish. That's when we water the garden. Part is the cleaning. And if you clean, then life will take care of the rest. But another way we can look at it as watering the garden, because we need to give the nourishment, love, presence, the breath, stillness, movement. All of this is also nourishing. You're nourishing your cells. You're nourishing your heart. You're nourishing your mind. Not just the candy, not just the flashing lights. There's value in this. This nourishment you can't purchase from anyone. This is the nourishment from within. So, everyone misunderstanding about yoga. Practice yoga. Are you good at yoga? It's crazy. It means be yourself. You don't need to. It's not acrobatics, not a circus. But it is a circus. We're living in a circus. Life is a circus now. Life is a circus, and we're all posing. We're all posers. So we need to go beyond the pose to the poise. Poise is a way of life. Poise is a depth. Poise is an embodiment. You need the poise. It's not about the pose. The pose brings to that poise the depth within yourself. To be so rooted, grounded, deep within yourself, then it's not like you can't not express your boundaries. And the boundaries aren't even, it's not like, oh my God, it's like you're just being yourself. Grounded in your power, in your voice. How can I release a person in my life when I know there is all the time present in my life? Main thing we need to do is not about what to get rid of. It's where we have to put our attention and focus, which is on here and now, the present moment. Right? You have to bring it. So for that, we have to collect our attention from where it's all. We're fragmented like Humpty Dumpty. We're 10 years ago, 5 days ago, a year, and we're split up all over the place, in the past, in the future, and all over the globe, in different places where we've lived and everything. So we have to pick up those pieces and bring them back here and now. All the pieces, you have to bring them back. Don't leave any pieces anywhere else. Or throw them all out. You have two choices. Either throw them all out or bring them here. People feel better, but after you bring them here, you have to throw them out anyway. So, but that's we'll say that for later. So you collect all the pieces here and now. And then that energy, by training your willpower, this is really what we're doing in the Yogasana, right? If we're doing anything, we're training how to be present when it's uncomfortable. It's not about like, oh, I need to do it right. It's like, it's so uncomfortable, but if you learn to be stable and present and grounded, so that's retraining your nervous system. So then you can take that energy and you can put it wherever it needs to go. Into learning something or building something or helping someone. There's constructive use of energy. Spinning in some kind of emotion or some kind of like moral dilemma about the philosophical, whatever of life. This is not, there's no outlet. It doesn't lead anywhere. It's not going anywhere. So, and then life keeps happening. It keeps happening in the present moment. So at all costs, you have to collect your energy, all your power, everything that's happened in your life, all that has brought you where you are. And then with all that, your full self, you jump into the game, which is here and now, the present moment. And then whatever can keep up, keeps up. Whatever goes, goes. Everything is in its place anyway. Every person is in their place. They have their own whole thing going on anyway. Everything is happening. So everyone we have to trust. Everyone's in its place. Every planet's in its place. Every cell, every molecule, every atom, every tree. And I don't know what that place is or should be. I have no idea. But life knows. Life doesn't even know. That's the kicker. Life doesn't even know. It doesn't need to. But we must immediately, you have a meal, you digest it immediately. As quick as you can learn the lesson, because then another 100 are on the way. And if you can't learn it, then good news is you're gonna get smacked around by life until you do, 100%. And that's what we call, the suffering is what we call grace. Because without like, if you something like, you have a sharp pain in your belly. It's so painful. Right? And because of that pain, you go to the doctor, right? If you didn't have a pain, you wouldn't go to the doctor. What's that pain? Yeah, your spleen ruptured or something, you know what I mean? Some shit like that. So first you think the problem is the pain, but no, the problem is the pain is just a messenger. The problem is your spleen, your appendix burst or something. If you don't treat that, then it goes septic, you get toxic, you die. So actually, in general, the suffering is not the problem. Suffering is a messenger. Suffering is grace, because then through that, it's putting our attention on something. Then we can learn our lesson and we can keep going. So as much as you can, then eventually it happened for me, where every day is like 1,000 lessons. Every day is 1,000 moments of beauty, 1,000 moments of wisdom, and it becomes like a quantum. Otherwise, it was like 10 years, the same thing. Like, who has time for that? Already we got this human birth. So many, so complicated just to get that. And that we have even to listen to the Dharma or to consider the spiritual path, that they're saying it's like another 100,000 human births before coming onto the path. So we're not talking like, I was like, King Charles in my last life. We're talking hundreds of thousands of human lives, not to mention being incarnated in every single other biological form, starting from the gases, through the micro everything. So you have that whole wealth of experiences built into in the memory of every DNA cell molecule, whatever it is. And so that you are an expression of that life. This was the other big realization, that you don't have a life. I don't have a life. Life has a me. Life is expressing itself in temporarily as this, as me. There's no me existing separately that has a life. I don't have a life. Life has a me. Life is that flower and that one and that one. I'm just another flower in the life. I don't have a life. And so it's a subtle distinction, but it's very important, and we understand the purpose of my life. You are the purpose of life. It's not that your life has a purpose, because I don't have a life. I don't have a life. There's not a me that has anything. I don't have anything. This body is borrowed, temporary. Thoughts, everything temporary. So who has that life? No one. Life is temporarily existing under the conditions of me. And so me is an expression of that perfect intelligence and power of life that is active in all of the plants and in everything everywhere. It's exactly that one same energy. And so simple, there's nothing to do. Life is doing it all. Life is doing it all. Just get out of the way for a moment. Just be quiet. Stop obsessing about yourself. Forget yourself. That's actually the key. Forget yourself, but really, like completely forget yourself. Completely forget your body, the shape of your body, your age, your name, your gender, everything, your country, your language, everything. Just for a moment, just back to factory reset. Pile of bones, a sack of cells, a sack of molecules, something, whatever. In that space, you experience the freedom, real freedom. And that freedom will teach you everything you need to know about existence. Actually, there's nothing to know, obviously. It's not something, life will reveal, but it's more just a dance. Then you can dance the dance. It's a dance. Life is dancing. Life is it's not like a scientific study of itself. Life isn't like writing a dictionary. I used to write dictionaries. Okay, 2 more questions. Pretty good timing. How can meditation help access emotions when they arise better? Meditation helps everything. Meditation just is like, it's like when everything is connected properly, then everything functions properly. So meditation is working at the level of integration of everything. Senses, the mind, the breath, the inner rhythm. But sometimes we want to access emotions. Sometimes we want to let go of them. It's not like, give me more emotions. Right? We don't need, we want to be sensitive. We need to be sensitive to sensation. There's a difference between emotion and sensation. Sensation, there's a lot of knowledge, information, and sensation. Emotion already is attached to some thought, some reaction, some judgment, some habit. Now it becomes my emotions, then I identify with it. I'm a sad person, I'm a this, I'm a that, anything. So we have to be careful. It's not like bring on the emotions. Like we can't be in that state of numbness and not feeling anything. But there's sensory awareness, sensitivity in your nervous system, in your skin, in the inside. You want to be sensitive, but no need to be emotional. And emotions come immediately. You have to filter it like a fish. You catch it. You take out rip out the bones, cut it up, put it on the ground, munch it down. The emotions, the Thich Nhat Hanh was really good with that. Chogyam Trungpa also. about how to transform daily emotions into that pure essence of life. That they would work, they're always working in that kind of Buddhism. They're working with the transmutation of the energy and the motion. But the emotions are at a certain vibrational frequency on the scale. But above that, more refined, like a radio, there are different channels depending on you turning. And the more refined than the emotions are states of like bliss and happiness and peace. And so we want to especially make ourselves sensitive to that. Gratitude, love. You can see in tune, you see love in the dew on the branch, you see love in the eyes of the cow, or we want to be, it's not like, I'm angry, I'm happy, I'm sad, but the real treasures, the divine treasures in your nervous system and in your mind also are these little moments of pure, like these pure, I don't know what to call that, pure experiences. The experience of gratitude, the experience of wonder, of joy. The spontaneous experiences. Okay, last question. How do you let go of someone who wasn't healthy for you, but you still care about? This is the theme. No, you don't let go of anything. You hold on to yourself. You have to hold on and love and respect yourself. And that can mean different things. It can mean a different thing in relation to that person now and later. In this time, you need the space, you need the distance. You're not doing anything to that person. You're doing what's needed for yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, then you can't do anything for anyone. You become useless for life. Even you think, I'm going to sacrifice myself and I'm just serving my family, but really you have an empty well and you're just, then really it's not good for you or for anyone else. So the good news is for sure we can do both. We can, if we assess this, it's a planning, time planning. There's enough time. We have time at least a few minutes. If you don't have 2%, then I will give you permission 1%, 15 minutes every day. Every day you do sun salutation once, and you do 1 or 2 postures, then breathe 1 or 2, then 5-6 minutes of meditation. Then you do every day for 100 days, and then gradually, some days you have extra time, so you can add a few more, you see how you feel. And you can increase the time directly proportionate to the goodness it brings in your life. Right? If you feel more inspired, more alive, more like drinking coffee. For people who drink coffee, after you drink coffee, there's a certain feeling, like of aliveness, we can call that. It's not artificial, because your blood's pumping. You'll get that you can do the same thing if you do the fitness, which you will do today shortly. So it's a chemistry. We're talking chemistry here. This isn't spiritual frou-frou. And so when you do the practice, then it's like a alertness, a sharpness that one would experience if you were, say, practicing a sport. When you're playing a sport, it's actually the same. This is a sport. Life is a sport. Life is a play. And so I can even guarantee, if you do it 100 days, it will have immense benefit in your life. So it's worth a shot. Anyway, it's not even, you don't even have to, it's not extra. It's just all included. So you can find out, and if it works, then it's a miracle. So let us know. Just take a moment to come back to center. Close your eyes, sit up tall. Open your shoulders, lengthen your spine, and focus on your breathing until you feel like locked in, then if you can, forget yourself. The more you can forget yourself, the more you can be yourself. The more we think, the more confused we get. Maybe this one, maybe maybe that one. Oh, I don't know, what about this one? So, breathe, make your breath very slow, like the pool filter. The water just flows in and out of the pool filter. There's almost zero effort. Eventually your breath becomes so refined, like a hibernation breath. It's only moving inside, it's no longer coming in and out. The breath is only moving inside. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.